One of China's most influential thinkers in the late teens and early 20s is a gentleman named Chen Duxiu, one of the founders of the Chinese Communist Party. Before he would join that party, however, he wrote a famous call to cultural revolution, a call to youth in 1915. And as translated in Duxiu and John Fairbank's book, China's Response to the West, here is some of what he said. Chinese compliment others by saying, "He acts like an old man, although still young." Englishmen and Americans encourage each other by saying, "Keep young while growing old." Such is one respect in which the different ways of thought of the East and the West are manifested. Youth is like early spring, like the rising sun, like trees and grass and bud, like a newly sharpened blade. It is the most valuable period of life. The function of youth in society is the same as that of a fresh and vital cell in a human body. What did he tell China's youth to do? He told them to embrace a new culture and to act differently than their elders. First, he said, be independent, not servile. He wrote, all men are equal. Each has his right to be independent, but absolutely no right to enslave others, nor any obligation to make himself servile. Second, he said, be progressive, not conservative. Without progress, there will be retrogression, he quoted an old Chinese saying. Considering the fundamental laws of the universe, all things or phenomena are daily progressing in evolution, and the maintenance of the status quo is definitely out of the question. Only the limitation of man's ordinary view has rendered possible the differentiation between the two states of being. Third, he said, again here constantly contrasting what he perceived to be Western or international values with Chinese traditional values, he said, third, be aggressive, not retiring. He wrote, while the tide of evil is now rushing onward, would it not be rare virtue for one or two self-respecting scholars to retire from the world to keep themselves clean? But if your aim is to influence the people and to establish a new tradition, I suggest that you make further progress from your present high position. In other words, telling China's literary and cultural elite to use their knowledge to make a new China and a new Chinese culture. Fourth, he wrote, be cosmopolitan, not isolationist. Any change, he wrote, in the economic or political life of one nation will have repercussions over the whole world. The propensity or decline, rise or fall of a nation today depends half on domestic administration, half on influences from outside the country. One has to be part of the world in order to change it. Fifth, he wrote, be utilitarian, not formalistic. And sixth and finally, be scientific, not imaginative. What is science, he said? It is our general conception of matter, which, being the sum of objective phenomena as analyzed by subjective reason, contains no contradiction within itself. He believed with these 6 changes of attitude, 6 fundamental changes of Chinese culture and of Chinese worldview, that China could progress.